Hello again, Article Club. Welcome to Melinda's Grief Corner. Welcome back. We are doing a makeup-free, messy hair grief corner today. Grief comes in many varieties. We've got some weird stuff going on right here. Clearly, my cat is here, busy. Excuse me. Today, today's newsletter is going to be about year two of grief. And as many of you know, or some of you know, I am currently in year two of grief. My dad died March 9th, 2024. So we are in the very first chapters of uh, grief year two. I gotta tell you, it is awful. I'm laughing because what else can you do, really? I spent most of the day yesterday sobbing. So, we're turning to laughter today. Um, and this is kind of about my own realizations of year two, as we're about almost about 2 months in to year two, and why I think it is particularly its own type of griefiness, um, and how it compared to my first year of grief. God, this little one. Um, and a resource I found that I listened to, it's a YouTube video about year two of grief and why it is its own kind of awful. If you were listening to this and you were like in your fresh early days of grief, meaning like you were in year one, I mean, years, kind of stupid, but like years. Let's say you're in your first year. Let's say you like lost your person literally yesterday. First, I'm so sorry. This is awful that you were in this griefy club. I'm sending you big hugs. I'm not like, if I tell you year two is worse, like you're gonna look at me and be like, Melinda, what you talking about, girl? Like, please. You don't know my life. Valid. I do not. Um, but the big theme that I'll talk about today in the newsletter, and the big theme that I'm coming to realize in my own life of year two, is the shock is gone. The shock is gone, like really gone. And reality has set in that this is where we're at forever. And that is its own type of awful, because I think the shock is something that is difficult in its own way, because your like nervous system, you're overridden, right? Of like all these emotions. You're navigating this world that like didn't exist for you because you've had your person or your loved one in your life. And the shock has helped you and will help you, I think, at least for me, it did, survive and do the things that you have to do to keep going forward. Um, if you asked me today to go to the funeral home and pick out my father's casket and his urn, I would expire just to be on the floor. Um, Yet 2 weeks after he died, I did it. I was like at the funeral home, like checking off all the boxes on the to-do list. And I talk a little about that in the newsletter. So all that to say, if you're watching this and you're in year one, like I get it. If you're like, God, why are you telling me this? Don't watch this then. Like, don't wait until you're in year two. Bookmark this, save me for later. I have had friends who have told me year two was awful and they didn't want to tell me that in year one, because for the same reasons I'm talking about here. Um, but I hope that you find some comfort, or at least companionship, in my reflections on year two. And I hope that the YouTube video that I share will also bring you something, because I think sometimes in the pit of things, we feel really isolated and we feel really alone. But just hearing other people who have gone through grief recognize that, hey, like this was hard for me too. And you are on your own journey, but you're also not alone. I hope that just helps. So read on. Um, in this newsletter, Melinda's Reflections on Grief. Um, my cat may make appearance next time. Can't make any promises. But yeah, let me know how you're feeling and how you're processing. And if you're in year two, let me know if you feel open and do you want to share your own experiences in the year two plus of grief. I welcome all of you here. Big hugs.